constant dance of relationships, negotiations, and power. Whether it's in politics, business, or even in our personal lives, the ability to understand people and guide situations in your favor is a skill that can determine success or failure. Machiavelli knew this better than anyone. He observed the powerful men and women of Renaissance Italy and recorded their victories, betrayals, and mistakes. What he discovered can be condensed into strategies that, even today, allow us to master situations and sometimes even master people. Now, don't misunderstand the word master. Machiavelli wasn't just saying we should control others like puppets. What he meant was to understand people so deeply, to anticipate their moves so clearly, that you can position yourself in a way where you always come out stronger. And he believed this could be done in 3 clear steps. The first step is understanding human nature. Machiavelli believed that if you wanted to lead, succeed, or simply survive, the first skill you needed was understanding people. He once wrote, "Men are driven by 2 principal impulses, either by love or by fear." What he meant is simple. People are motivated by emotions, not logic. They are moved by desires, insecurities, and needs more than by pure reason. Think about your own life. How often do people make decisions not because it's the smartest choice, but because it feels good, it feels safe, or it feels rewarding? We buy things we don't need because they make us feel important. We follow leaders not always because they're right, but because they inspire us, or sometimes because we fear them. Machiavelli observed that people are not always loyal, not always honest, and not always grateful. This may sound harsh, but he believed facing the truth of human nature gave you an advantage. If you expect people to always be good, you will be disappointed. But if you prepare for the fact that people act in their own interest, you will never be surprised. So how do you use this knowledge today? You start by studying people. Watch how they act when they want something. Notice how their behavior changes when they're under pressure. Pay attention to the little signs, tone of voice, body language, sudden changes in mood. Understanding human nature is like learning a language. The more you observe, the more fluent you become. This is why in modern life, emotional intelligence is so powerful. Leaders who succeed are not just smart, they know how people feel, how to influence those feelings, and how to use them to achieve results. Just like Machiavelli said, mastering others begins with understanding their deepest impulses. The second step is controlling appearances. Machiavelli famously wrote, "Everyone sees what you appear to be, few experience what you really are." This is one of his most quoted lines, and it contains a golden truth. People judge based on appearances, not reality. In other words, perception is more powerful than truth. Think about history's great leaders, celebrities, or entrepreneurs. Many of them carefully crafted how they were seen. Steve Jobs wore his simple black turtleneck to project focus and genius. Elon Musk posts bold statements online to appear fearless and visionary. Politicians smile, shake hands, and deliver inspiring speeches even if behind the scenes they are calculating and strategic. Machiavelli's point is not that you should be fake, but that you should be aware that people rarely see the whole you. They see what you present, and if you want to master situations, you must learn to manage that image. For example, if you want respect at work, it's not enough to just be competent. You must project confidence. If you want to inspire loyalty, it's not enough to just give orders. You must appear to care deeply for those who follow you. If you want to win in negotiations, sometimes you must appear strong even when you feel weak. Machiavelli even argued that it was safer for a leader to be feared than loved if they had to choose. Why? Because fear is within your control, while love is not. People's affection can change, but fear creates stability. Of course, he also warned that fear must never turn into hatred. A leader who is hated is doomed. The balance, he said, is to appear strong, decisive, and even strict, but never cruel, without purpose. In today's world, this advice translates directly into personal branding. On social media, in business, and even in friendships, how you present Yourself shapes how others treat you. By controlling appearances, you shape the game. And those who shape the game master it. The third step is to take bold action. Machiavelli believed that fortune favors the bold. He observed rulers and generals who hesitated, waiting for perfect conditions, only to be crushed by those who acted decisively. He compared fortune to a river. When the waters are calm, you must prepare, build dams, and strengthen your position. But when the flood comes, you must too act boldly, or you will be destroyed. He also compared fortune to a woman, writing that she favors those who are daring and aggressive. In other words, waiting too long, being too cautious, or fearing failure often leads to defeat. Boldness, even with risk, brings power. Think about Stallone writing Rocky, Musk betting on SpaceX when everyone said it would fail, or entrepreneurs who leave stable jobs to pursue a vision. History rewards those who take bold steps, not those who wait forever. Machiavelli's advice is clear. Once you understand people and control appearances, you must act with courage. The combination of knowledge, perception, and decisive action is what creates mastery. So, how do you apply this today? Stop waiting for perfect conditions. If you have studied the situation, prepared your strategy, and know the risks, act. Take the leap. Whether it's speaking up in a meeting, starting your own business, or making a difficult decision, boldness separates leaders from followers. Now let's take a moment to tie all of this together. Machiavelli's 3 steps, understanding human nature, controlling appearances, and taking bold action, are not just abstract ideas. They are practical tools you can use every day. Imagine walking into a negotiation. If you understand human nature, you know what the other side really wants, beyond their words. If you control appearances, you project confidence and strength, even if inside you feel nervous. And if you take bold action, you make the decisive offer that changes the game in your favor. That's mastery. Or think about personal relationships. If you understand human nature, you recognize when someone is acting out of fear or desire. If you control appearances, you maintain respect even when emotions run high. And if you take bold action, you resolve conflicts quickly instead of letting them grow. This is why Machiavelli's teachings are still studied today, not just in politics but in psychology, leadership, and even business schools. He wasn't telling us to be evil, he was telling us to be realistic, strategic, and courageous. Of course, with great power comes great responsibility. Misusing these strategies to harm others or manipulate selfishly will always bring consequences. Machiavelli himself knew this. He observed that rulers who abused power often fell quickly. Mastery is not about cruelty. It is about clarity, strength, and purpose. So ask yourself, how are you applying these steps in your own life? Do you truly understand the people around you, their fears, desires, and motivations? Do you manage how others perceive you, shaping your own narrative? And are you bold enough to act when the time comes, even if the risk is high? The answers to these questions will determine not only your success, but your ability to navigate the complex world we all live in. Because life, at its core, is about relationships, influence, and action. Those who master these 3 areas will always rise above. Machiavelli's wisdom has lasted for over 500 years because it speaks to a truth that never changes. People may evolve, technology may advance, societies may shift, but human nature remains the same. And those who understand that, those who know how to control appearances and act boldly, will always find themselves in positions of power. So the next time you face a challenge, whether it's convincing someone of your idea, taking a risk in your career, or leading others through uncertainty, remember these 3 steps. Master human nature, control appearances, and take bold action. That is how you master any situation, and perhaps how you master anyone. And maybe, just maybe, that's what Machiavelli was really trying to tell us all along.